Let's continue here on Radio Boss. We're joined by a young woman. As a matter of fact, you know her as LaWanda in BMF on Stars. It's a really, really good show. Hopefully you've been able to check it out. And you've seen her also on Sisters, Outer Banks, First Wives Club, amongst others. A rising young star, Sydney Mitchell, joins us today here on Radio Boss. Sydney, welcome to the program.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, an absolute pleasure to have you. So you played this role of LaWanda. First of all, how did you get this role?
So I was auditioning for 2 other roles actually, which is crazy. I did not audition for LaWanda initially. So I got it through my agent. I did the 2 auditions and they liked me for the character of LaWanda. And so we read together and the rest was history.
Oh, okay. So what was the other role? What was the other role?
Oh my goodness. So one of them was, do you remember the lawyer, Pastor Swift's lawyer in the first season who was handling Terry's settlement money for his eyes? Yes. So one was her. And then one was actually Meech's baby's mother, played by Soraya now, who does an amazing job. So I auditioned for those 2, worked out another way, and it's been great.
You're much too, for 2 things. You're much too young and much too young looking to play that lawyer role. Not you understand what I'm saying?
Right, yes. But you know, when you audition, it'll literally be such a big window. It'll be like 20s to late 30s, all ethnicity, and you just kind of audition to show your range, you know? So right. But yeah, no, it wasn't a good fit though.
I mean, no, and the young lady did a good job. I'm not saying that, and she's not old, but
no, for sure. But it worked out another way, which is great.
So you enjoy this role?
Oh yes, I love it. I love playing LaWanda.
Okay, tell us about. But tell the audience about LaWanda. Who is she?
Yeah. So LaWanda is a young woman who is, you know, the girlfriend / baby's mother of a drug dealer. And so I was trying to find a better way to say that. Right. But you know, she's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place because she loves him, she wants to be loyal to him, she wants this family, but at the same time, you know, he's doing all this other stuff. He wants this different life. And so, you know, she's in a weird space. And, you know, I like playing LaWanda because I can kind of relate to just being like the low key kind of, you know, go with the flow type of person, and sometimes coming off as naive, you know. It's like, so when I got the character, I was able to pull a lot of my real life stuff into it and really identify with her, you know, and especially her being a young woman. She's only like 17, 18, you know? So it's like, I've been there before where it's like, you know, you want to make it work. You want it to go this way, but you know, it doesn't always work out.
Well, you know, LaWanda isn't that naive because your character LaWanda tried to pull one on Terry, right? Like trying to pull one on him, right?
She's getting there. She's starting to see what's going on.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just, I don't want to give too much away. People have to really sit down and watch it. So how is it working with the cast? I mean, you have some newcomers, but then you've got some better. Steve Harris, you know, is a veteran. I mean, you've got some, Lala, you know, she's sort of been around. So talk about the range of cast and working with the different cast members.
Yes. It's been really, really great because, you know, we have people who, like you said, have been doing this for a really long time that I'm able to learn from and able to watch and, you know, see the way they do things. And then we have, you know, newer people, and it's like great to see their growth and us kind of like growing together as, you know, younger actors coming up. So it's been really, really fun. And, you know, I feel like we built so many like personal relationships, and it really feels like a family. It's so funny, like, we're about to start filming soon for season 3. And it's like the first scene I have is with the family again. And it's just going to feel like the first day all over again, you know? So, and Da Vinci, he's been like really, really great as far as just like really committing with me and really, you know, locking in with me. And so, yeah, it's been really fun. And like I said, Steve, Russell, McCall, Lala, Monique, Leslie Jones, people who have been doing this for a long time, Kelly Hugh, it's like, really fun to watch their process and learn like, oh wow, they're, you know, a lot we can take from them too. Snoop Dogg, 50, the
right.
list goes on.
It does go on. Sydney, you mentioned this a little bit earlier, but how is you, Sydney, or how are you, Sydney, like LaWanda? What ways?
Oh, I think just like I said, I'm a very, very, very loyal person, almost to a fault sometimes, you know, like when I really care about somebody, then sometimes it's like they can do no wrong, you know, and that can kind of misconstrue, you know, things that I need to see. And, you know, like I said, just kind of that laid back, go with the flow personality is very similar to mine as well. However, I do think LaWanda is, like you said, starting to get more to like 28-year-old Sydney, where it's like, you know, I'm nice, but it's starting to, you know, you have to learn in life. Like, you know, it's only so far you can let people push you. So, but I can definitely relate to the young, like I said, kind of naive and just, you know, wanting to be a part of something and wanting to find, you know, community in other people instead of like, you know, staying here and staying true to yourself. So I get it.
No doubt about it. Sydney Mitchell plays the role of LaWanda in BMF on Stars. And you can catch her each and every week. I guess we have what, maybe three episodes or so left, something like that. But as she mentioned, already filming for season 3. She joins us here on Radio Ball. So you grew up, what was it like growing up in the ATL?
Oh, it was so much fun. I love the South. Like no matter where I go, I always end up back here. So it's been fun, and it's like crazy to see, you know, BMF come to life, because I was telling somebody earlier, as a child, I was like seeing the BMF billboards and like hearing about them, and you know, like they took over the club this night, you know. So it's been like a full circle moment to like grow up here and see and hear the things and then be a part of it, you know, like, and be a part of a show and meet the real people. It's been a crazy, crazy experience.
You know, I think I did mention Outer Banks. We're here. I mean, I know Outer Banks isn't like filmed. I think it's filmed in South Carolina, even though we're here in North Carolina, actually. But so how long were you a part of how long were you a part of Outer Banks? Are you still?
I was literally in one episode.
Okay.
Yeah, right. One episode. That I gotta take that off my bio.
Okay.
But yeah, I was in the first episode of the first season.
And that was it? What happened?
Yes. No, I just had a tiny role. So it's crazy. Like Outer Banks, the show Star, on Fox, the show Ambitions on OWN. There were so many shows that I kind of like would step in, be out, step in, be out. And then, you know, as an actress, you grow and finally get that, you know, that role that kind of starts your career and helps your career. So Outer Banks was one of those.
Right. And but now the role of LaWanda, this is sort of that role but now First Wives Club, you did more than you did quite a bit.
Yeah. So First Wives Club is funny. First Wives Club and BMF I booked at the same time. So I was filming them literally. It was the craziest thing. It's like I'd be over here jumping through hoops. We'd be cracking up laughing on First Wives Club, and then tomorrow my baby daddy's getting shot and you gotta cry. It was like two extremes, but those were the first two shows where I was like playing a pivotal role. And you know, like I said, kind of the start for my actual, you know, acting career.
Do you, like, it's interesting because you want both of these roles, right? Like you're trying to juggle. I guess did everything seem to work out with your schedule, seem like, right? Which was a good thing because you wouldn't want to have to pick between the two, right?
Right. No, definitely not. But shout out to George Pierre. So he was the casting director for both, and he was able to like kind of work my schedules and do both. I feel like it wasn't necessarily a schedule thing as much as it was a mental thing. You know, it's like sometimes you have to go places mentally, and it's like I said, we're having so much fun over here, and I'm having to prepare to see somebody get shot tomorrow. It was just like two different, and they're polar opposites. Lawanda's like this girl from Detroit, you know, she's like ride or die chilling. And Vanessa is like this prim and proper assistant who, like, you know, comes in scurrying it. It was so opposite. But it was fun though. It was a challenge though.
Yeah, no, that just shows talent right there to me. To be able to move between those two and sometimes day after day. That's talent. So you're born in the 90s, right? I'm looking at it. I'm, you know, the hairstyle, like you have this hairstyles, it is 80s to the fullest.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So what did you know about the 80s prior to this role?
Ooh, so I knew like certain songs, of course. I knew like a little bit about the styles, but you know, actually playing the character is like a whole different experience. You know, it's like being there and putting on the clothes and hearing the music and seeing, like you said, the hair. It's like a complete transformation. And especially Detroit, that's the other thing. Like, it's a difference between 80s and there's a difference between 80s Detroit, where it's like they had the hair shows, the hair capital, all this. So I'm learning about Detroit more and more, I feel like, every day. 80s Detroit.
80s, yeah, no question about it. So I mean, are you getting your, I mean, I'm just asking, is this your hair that's getting styled in that manner?
No. So they're wigs. Yeah, it's a wig. Every season there have been different wigs. So it was not my hair. They completely put my hair, they braided down and put on a new wig.
Wow. No question. So do you have an appreciation for the 80s more so as a 90s child, if you will?
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like I love, like, the thing I love the most is, and by the way, this is going backwards, but Lawanda was known for her hairstyles as well. So that's one thing I left out. A lot of people are like, why does she always have these funky hairstyles? But she was known for changing her hair all the time. So that's going back. But I think the appreciation I have now for like this show is just how simple beauty was back then. You know, it's like that very kind of less is more, not as much makeup, not as much like, you know, extra stuff, just kind of the simplicity of like a pretty woman was really appreciated. So when we're on set and stuff, and there are times like they'll do my makeup and I'm like, can I have more? You know, but then it's like I have to realize, like, in the 80s, it was not all that. It wasn't the contour and the eyebrow lift. It was like, you know, maybe some mascara, foundation, you know, so so it's been, like I said, cool to, you know, play a character in the 80s and be able to kind of feel that simplicity of it.
No doubt about it. Sydney Mitchell plays the role of Lawanda on BMF on Star. She joins us here on the program. So like what kind of music do you like to listen to? What's your favorite music?
Oh, my music taste is so all over the place. I just told somebody this the other day. I might go Whitney Houston. I might go Lil Baby. I might go Drake. I might go some pop. It's like I have a very big variety of music, but I love 90s R&B. That's what I'm so excited for. Season 3, like, we're gonna start touching into the 90s, and I'm so excited for that, for the music, the hair, all that stuff.
Yeah, and part of the reason I asked you that, because I was having born in the 70s, but having grown up in the 80s, to me, I always was like, oh, the 80s is like the best era of music because it was mostly pop, and then hip hop was coming around. But then you look at the 90s, R&B kind of came back, and hip hop took it to another level. You got the what's your favorite? I mean, what's your favorite era? Is it 90s? What's your favorite era of music?
Ooh, I think my favorite era is 90s for sure. I think, like, I tell people all the time, I feel like my in another life, I was born in the 90s. Just like, I don't know, like I said, I feel like the women were just very like I said, simple beauty, and just, you know, very I don't know, more of like a natural beauty. And I feel like musically, like you said, that genre of music is probably my favorite. So I love the 80s. I think the 80s were cool. I think the 80s were great. I think the early 2000s were cool. I think they were great. But that 90s, like R&B, I feel like that's my favorite.
No, you're right. Because I had to think about when I was talking with some years ago, and I had to think about that. Then I said, wait a minute. Now, you know what? Wait a minute, because R&B, you know, the TLCs, the
Yes, the
FWBs of the
TLC.
world.
Exactly, exactly. No, we so we have like a vision board in one of our offices of like all the, you know, 90s stuff right now. And when I went in there, it's like you said, it's the TLCs on the wall and you know, well, Salt and Pepper's kind of like 80s, 90s, but like they have like all the 90s themes and the kind of like baggier clothes and I'm excited for that. The Aaliyahs, you know, like well, Aaliyah's kind of early 2000s, but you know what I'm saying?
I
Like
know what you mean.
that era. And you know, my mom, that was her favorite era as well. So I feel like that's another reason I kind of watched her, you know, thrive in the way she dressed and the way she, you know, did her hair and stuff. So that's what I'm waiting on.
No doubt. So you're filming, or I guess filming in some respects anyway, season 3. What do you have any other projects that you're working on?
So not right now. I'm not working on anything, but I just did a movie called Under His Influence, that just came out on BET Plus last week. It's Iman Shumpert. He's one of my co-stars. Michael Michelle is one of my co-stars. Cynthia Bailey, Lamont Rucker. It's a really good cast, but that is my first lead. And, you know, I want to be an action actress. That's what my goal is. So this was my first time being able, like I said, you know, LaWanda kind of chills at the house and stuff. This is my first time, like I'm holding a gun, I'm doing the running like that. So that was a great time. And I had a really good time with that.
Oh man, gonna have to check that out. So are you a sports fan? Are you a big sports fan?
Oh, I love football. So my dad used to play football, so I don't have a choice.
Oh, he played for, okay, he did?
Yes, yes.
For
My dad
whom?
played for the Seattle Seahawks, actually.
Who's your dad?
His name is Gerald Boo Mitchell. Boo Mitchell
Okay.
is his name. Well, his football name.
Wow. Okay. So you're a football. Okay. So were you a Falcon? So I guess I mean, I don't know. Were you a Seahawks fan? Were you a Falcons fan? You know?
My family is a big Falcons fan.
Okay.
Or yeah, big Falcons fans. But yeah, so I feel like because I have like a lot of guys in my family. So I have a lot of brothers, a lot of guy cousins. So growing up, it was like I was kind of a tomboy a little bit, you know? So I love football. I would always be watching it with them and everything. And I think that kind of plays into why I love the stunts and the, you know, the running, the jumping, all that stuff. People are like, why do you want to do that? I'm like, I love it. It's fun. Yes. I feel like I can do both though. It's like I can do the whole, you know, pretty prim and proper, but I also love, you know, like I said, the sports aspect and all of that. I kind of bounce in between.
No doubt. And you spent time between LA and Atlanta, correct?
Yes. So my mom is from LA actually. So most of my family is in LA. My dad and my mom and my brother are here, but all of my mom's extended family's out there. So we've kind of been back and forth my whole life.
No doubt. So give us the name of the movie one more time that's on BET Plus.
It's called Under His Influence. It is a very has a great twist that y'all will not see coming. It's a really good movie.
All right. Well, you can follow her on all social media. You're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, you're on Facebook. Are you on Facebook, Twitter? I know you're on Twitter.
Yes, all of it. It's Sydney Mitchell Official.
Absolutely. So follow her there. Watch the movie on BET Plus, Under His Influence. And of course, BMF, she plays the role of LaWanda on Stars each week. We got about 3 or 4 episodes left or so. Sydney Mitchell joining us here on Radio Boss. Sydney, really appreciate the time. Continued success in all you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I had fun with you.